Eva never thought she would be the kind of woman caught between two men. But love, she learned, was never as simple as it seemed. She had been with Noah for 3 years. He was safe, reliable, and everything she thought she wanted. They had a routine, a life built on trust. Or so she believed. Then there was Liam, the one who shouldn't have mattered. The one who made her heart race in a way she had never known before. It started on a night that should have been ordinary. Eva had gone out with friends celebrating a promotion. That's when she met him. Liam. He was charming, intense, and completely different from Noah. There was something reckless about him, something that made her forget the world she had so carefully built. One drink turned into 2. A conversation turned into a shared secret. And then a kiss. A mistake, she told herself. A moment of weakness. But it didn't feel like a mistake. Eva went home to Noah that night, guilt pressing into her chest. She told herself it was nothing. But Liam wasn't easy to forget. Days turned into weeks. She saw him again. Not by accident. Not entirely by choice either. He was magnetic, pulling her closer even when she tried to resist. "You're playing with fire," Liam warned one evening, his fingers brushing against hers. "I know," she whispered. But she didn't stop. She told herself it wasn't real, that it was just an escape from a life that had become predictable. But it was real. Too real. Then came the moment she had feared. Noah found out. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. It was worse. It was quiet. A broken whisper in the middle of the night. "Are you in love with him?" Eva didn't know the answer. She loved Noah, but she couldn't lie. "I don't know." His silence shattered her more than any anger could have. Liam wanted her to choose. Noah wanted her to stay. And Eva. She just wanted to rewind time to a place where everything was simple. But love was never simple. The decision came not in a grand moment, not in some dramatic revelation. It came in the quiet. Standing between the two men who had changed her world, Eva made her choice. And she walked away. From both. Because sometimes the real choice isn't between two people. It's choosing yourself. Eva moved into a small apartment downtown. The silence felt unbearable at first. She was used to coming home to Noah's familiar voice, his steady presence. Now there was only emptiness. She didn't call Liam. He didn't call her. Maybe he understood that she needed space. Or maybe he had already moved on. She threw herself into work, staying late at the office, avoiding thoughts of what she had lost. But the nights were the hardest. The moments between sleep and wakefulness, when her mind wandered back to the way Noah used to trace patterns on her back as she drifted off. Or the way Liam's voice sent shivers down her spine. Weeks passed. Then months. One evening, as she walked home, she saw Noah. He was sitting at an outdoor cafe, a book in hand. And he wasn't alone. A woman sat across from him, laughing at something he said. He looked happy. Eva's heart clenched. She had no right to feel jealous. She had been the one to leave. Still, she turned away before he could see her, walking faster, swallowing the lump in her throat. The past had moved on without her. Liam, on the other hand, wasn't so easy to escape. One evening, she found him waiting outside her building. He looked the same, yet different. A little older. A little more guarded. "I wasn't sure if I should come," he admitted. "But you did," she said softly. They stood in silence for a long moment. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out something small. A key. "I found this in my jacket," he said. From that night, Eva took it, running her fingers over the smooth metal. It was from the hotel room where they had spent their last night together, the night before she told him she couldn't choose. "I never used it again," Liam said, "but I couldn't bring myself to throw it away." Eva exhaled. Neither could she. "I never stopped thinking about you," he admitted. She looked up at him. "I don't know what I want, Liam." "I know," he said. "I'm just here. If you ever do." And with that, he walked away. Ava stood there, staring at the key in her hand, feeling the weight of all the choices she had made, and the ones still left to make. Ava thought she had closed that chapter. But one evening, as she walked home, she noticed someone following her, a shadow lingering too long. When she turned a corner, she heard footsteps quicken behind her. Panic set in. She rushed into a nearby bookstore, her heart pounding. She pretended to browse, stealing glances toward the entrance. The figure remained outside, and then he stepped in. "Liam, what are you doing?" she asked, breathless. "You don't answer my calls. You disappear. And now you're afraid of me," he said, stepping closer. "It's not that," she whispered. "Then what is it?" "Because I need to know, Ava." She hesitated. "I'm afraid of myself, of what I might do if I'll let you back in." Liam's jaw tightened. "I never left. I was always here, waiting." Ava knew that if she spoke, she might say something she couldn't take back. But maybe she didn't want to take it back anymore. She reached for his hand, and for the first time in months, she let herself feel again. But just as quickly, a familiar voice shattered the moment. "Ava?" She turned. Noah stood there, watching, waiting. Just as she thought she had left the past behind, it had caught up with her once again. And this time, there was no easy escape. The weight of her choices crashed down. Liam's hand was still warm in hers, but Noah's gaze held a silent plea. She could feel the tension thick in the air, the impossible choice standing right in front of her again. Noah took a step closer. Liam didn't let go. And Ava. She just stood there, trapped between the past and the future. Her heart pounded. She had to choose. But could she?